A secure and prosperous age. The situation in Europe from 1870 to 1914. On January 28, 1871, Paris surrendered the besieging German force, ending the Franco-Prussian War. The victory led to the completion of German unification and a new empire, ruled by the King of Prussia, who became Kaiser Wilhelm I. Apart from the Russo-Turkish War 1877-1878, it also heralded peace between Europe's major powers for 4 decades, known as La Belle Époque. This was later perceived as a golden age before the carnage of the Great War. The period's political stability saw economic growth and imperial expansion. New technology flourished. Electric power became increasingly common, lighting cities and powering factories, while the telegraph and the expansion of the railway system transformed communication and travel. The major European powers exploited their colonial empires, enjoying privileged access to raw materials such as rubber, oil, and gold, and a captive market for their product. Fault lines amid the peace. During this era of peace, Europe's domestic politics were also largely stable, although fault lines existed. Britain, a democratic constitutional monarchy, remained an industrial powerhouse and ruled over the world's largest empire. When Edward VII succeeded his long-reign mother Victoria in 1901, however, there was some local unrest, notably among Irish nationalists and supporters of female suffrage. Internal tension also exists in France, a parliamentary republic since 1870. In Paris, resentment brewed over the loss of French territory in the Franco-Prussian War, while the Dreyfus Affair, the celebrated case of a French Jewish army officer falsely imprisoned for treason, showed the anti-Semitism was still rife. The emerging power was Germany, which combined military might and a burgeoning industrial sector poised to overtake that of Britain. The Kaiser had significant authority, although the elected German Reichstag or parliament had legislative powers, and working-class activism led to the left-wing Social Democrats becoming the largest party in 1912. Austria-Hungary, a dual monarchy formed in 1867 under the rule of the Habsburg dynasty, was a major producer of manufactured goods, but its multi-ethnic nature created significant strain. Nationalists demanded autonomy, if not independence. Austria-Hungary's southern neighbor was Italy, another constitutional monarchy. Although it had been unified in 1861 under Victor Emmanuel II, King of Sardinia, the nation was divided economically between North and South, and politically between radicals and conservatives. This is a political cartoon map of 1900 entitled John Bull and His Friends, caricatures the competing European nation. Russia is portrayed as an octopus, its tentacles reaching into Europe and Asia. Latent unrest in Russia. The House of Romanov had enjoyed autocratic power over all of Russia, the largest contiguous empire in the world. However, the 1905 revolution, a social uprising against imperial rule, forced Tsar Nicholas II to share some power with the elected Duma. Russia lagged behind its rival, but it was modernizing and its growth had eclipsed that of the Ottoman Empire, its once mighty neighbor. After suffering territorial losses in the Balkans and North Africa, the Ottoman Empire now struggled to find a path between imperial rule, constitutional monarchy, and military dictatorship. Interrelated royals. Queen Victoria's 9 children married into royal families across Europe. By 1914, the British, German, and Russian monarchs were all related, as were most other crown heads on the continent. Kaiser Frederick III of Germany had married the Queen's eldest daughter, also named Victoria, while the wife of Victoria's son and heir Edward VII was Alexandra of Denmark, whose sister Dagmar later married Tsar Alexander III of Russia. British monarch George V was thus first cousin to both Kaiser Wilhelm II and Tsar Nicholas II. Nicholas II's wife, Alix of Hesse, was also directly descended from Victoria through her mother, Princess Alice. The Russian and German monarchs were related too, as both were descendants of King Frederick William III of Prussia and Tsar Paul I of Russia, making them simultaneously third cousin and second cousins once removed. Such family ties, however, would not prove strong enough to stop a war.